Again, we are out here live downtown Minneapolis, where the community has gathered in the streets to call for injustice in the sentencing of Kim Potter. Please like and share our video. Please like and share our page, The Voters Voice Media. To bring those who are tuning in, we are currently outside of the apartment complex where Judge Regina Chu lives and resides. The crowd has marched over here and have set up a demonstration outside the home of Judge Regina Chu. We are in the corner of Yale Place and I do believe 2nd Avenue. Actually, it's 12th Street and Yale Place, and this is the home of Judge Regina Chu.
Who shut this shit down? Who's on the ground? We're here to shut this shit down. Does anybody want to say anything? I'm out of breath, y'all. Shit. God damn. Anybody want to say anything?
Please like and share our page, The Voters Voice Media. Please like and share this video, bringing you in real time what is going on in downtown Minneapolis.
Brandon, DJ, come on, y'all, I can't breathe.
As you see, there is a line of cars about a block long, as you can see, going back. The community crowd have come out here to show their support, solidarity for the Wright family, calling for disagreement in the sentencing of Kim Potter, only receiving 16 months. Technically, the rest will be served on parole. So the energy and crowd is out here high right now.
Kobe Harvard, say his name! 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 Hey, Daunte, don't kill it! Hey, Daunte, don't kill it! Hey, Daunte, don't kill it!
So again, for those who are tuning in, we are in the corner of 12th Street and Yale Place, downtown Minneapolis, right outside the home of Judge Regina Chu. Regina Chu lives in this apartment complex condominium in downtown Minneapolis, and the crowd has set up their demonstration outside of their home.
And somebody don't get it! And somebody don't get it! And somebody don't get it! And somebody don't get it!
So the crowd...
Revolution! 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 You can't stop the revolution! You can't stop the revolution! You can't stop the revolution! We gon' get our liberation! We gon' get our reparation! You can't stop the revolution!
You do see the power of the crowd out here. Energy is very high. We're reportedly getting high winds downtown. It's very cold out here, but this is not stopping this crowd. This crowd is out here.
Who run the streets? motherfucker.
For Daunte Wright,
Who run the
community has
street?
turned out.
Who run the street? Who run the street? Who run this motherfucker? Who run this motherfucker? Boots are in the ground. We're here. Let's shut this shit down. Boots. We're here. Boots. We're here. Boots. We're here.
The crowd right now, very high energy, very calm.
We're here.
Just chanting. Nothing is going on out here right now. Just a lot of chanting, just a lot of people standing in support and solidarity. The community coming out here making their voice heard.
Let's shut this shit down. Boots. We're here. Save me. What's his name? Save me. Fuck 12. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I said 9, 10, 11. I said 9, 10, 11. A-C-A-B. A-T-A-B. A-C-A-B. GTFO. I said GTFO. I said ACAB. ACAB. Say his name. What's his name? Jose Maya.
So again, for those who are tuning in to us, we thank you. Everyone who is watching, we are out here live, 12th Street South, downtown Minneapolis and Yale Place, right outside the home of Regina Chu. In downtown Minneapolis, the judge who presided over the Daunte Wright case, sentencing Kim Potter today to just 24 months, 2/3, 16 months. She'll do the rest on parole once she is released. The crowd, the community has come out today because they do not agree with that sentence, and she was facing up to at least 7 years. They feel that the crowd is out here because they feel that the life of Daunte Wright is worth more than 16 months, and that Kim Potter got off with a slap on the wrist.
If Daunte don't
Share our page, the Voters Voice Media. Please like and share this video, bringing you in real time what's going on right here on the corner of 12th Street South and Yale Place in downtown Minneapolis.
no good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. Say no good judge in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system.
No good judge in a racist system.
No good judge in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. Fuck Kim Potter. Say fuck Kim Potter. Say fuck Kim Potter. Say fuck Kim Potter. Fucking party!
So you hear chants of F. Kim Potter right now going throughout the crowd.
Fucking party! Fucking party! Fucking party! Fucking party! Fucking party! Say fuck 12! Fuck 12! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I said 9 to 11. I said 9 to 11. Daunte Wright, say his name. Say his name. Scream his name. Scream his
So
name.
just to give you a feel of the atmosphere out here, the energy is very high while the temperatures are very cool, but still the community has come out to stand with the Wright family.
Scream his name! Scream his name! Scream his name!
We now have the mother of Daunte Wright, Katie Wright, out here with us. She came out to stand in solidarity, and she's really grateful for all of you guys that showed up for Daunte this evening. She doesn't want to say anything, but she's out here with us. She's standing with us, and let her know that we support her, that we got her back.
We got your back.
Yeah. If Daunte don't get it, if Daunte don't get it, if Daunte don't get it, justice for all.
What you are seeing is the mother of Daunte Wright, the brother of Daunte Wright, other family members.
Justice for all. Justice for all. Who they kill? 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 Justice for who? Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system.
So the family is right now just embracing, talking about today's event and sharing space with each other.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Okay, Katie, you don't want to say anything? All right. Where's Brandon? Or D? Here you go, DJ.
All right, repeat after me. Fuck that bitch ass judge. Fuck that bitch ass judge. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch ass judge. Fuck 12. Fuck 12. Fuck 12. Fuck 12. Fuck 12. Fuck him, party. Fuck him, party. Fuck him, party. Fuck him, party. Say his name. 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 If Daunte don't get it, 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 say his name, say his name, say his name, say his name, get it in the street, 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 street. Get him in the street. Get him in the street. If you don't want no justice, take your bitch ass home. If you don't want no justice, take your bitch ass home. If you don't want no justice, take your bitch ass home. If you don't want no justice, take your bitch ass home. 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 I don't know what y'all been doing. These racist assholes got to go. I don't know what y'all been doing. These racist assholes got to go. Fuck 12. Fuck 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left. I said 9 to the left. I said 9 to the left. Says 9. Says 9. Who they murder? Justice for. Says 9. Says 9. Says 9. Says 9. Say has 9. Say has 9. Say has 9.
If Daunte don't get it, if Daunte don't get it, if Daunte don't get it,
So for people who
if
are
Daunte
tuning in,
don't get
thank
it,
you for tuning in. Thank you all for watching.
if Daunte don't
We are
get
live
it,
out here on the corner
if Daunte don't get it,
South 12th Street.
if Daunte don't get it,
Downtown Minneapolis.
if Daunte don't get it,
The home of
if Daunte
Regina
don't get
Judge
it,
home.
if
She's
Daunte
right there
don't
in the
get
condominium
it,
complex here in the
if
by the
Daunte
Orange Park
don't
area
get
where
it,
the crowd has
if Daunte
come out
don't
here.
get
The Wright
it,
family is out here
if Daunte don't get it,
and community members,
if Daunte don't
citizens,
get
residents,
it,
and voters have come out
if Daunte
to stand
don't
in
get it,
solidarity
if
with
Daunte
this
don't
family.
get it, say fucking party, fucking party, fucking party,
Please like and share our video
fucking party.
showing you in real time what's happening
Say
right
fuck
now in
these
downtown
judges.
Minneapolis. Please like and share our
Fuck
page,
these
The Voters
judges.
Voice Media.
Fuck these judges, fuck these judges, say fuck this system, fuck this system, fuck this system, fuck this system. Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's motherfucking street? 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 No good cops in a racist system.
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 No good judge 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 in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. When I say Killer Kim, you say guilty as hell. Killer Kim! Killer Kim! Killer Kim! Killer Kim! When I say where do we want her, you say under the jail. Where do we want her? 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 Now we're gonna put both those parts together and say, Killer Kim! Where do we want her? 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 Daunte Wright, say his name! Say his name! What's his name? Scream his name! Scream his name! What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? No justice! 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 If Daunte don't get it! 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 When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? 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 When black lives are under attack, what do we do? 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 When black youth are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Daunte Wright, say his name. What's his name? Scream his name. Scream his name. Scream his name. What's his name? What's his name? Say his name. Say his name. Scream his name. Scream his name. Scream his name. What's his name? What's his name? Scream his name. What's his name? What's his name? When I say Daunte, you say right. Daunte! 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 When I say black lives, you say matter. Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! When I say Daunte, you say right. Daunte! 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 When I say Kobe, you say Heisler. Kobe! 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 Kobe Heisler, say his name! Say his name! Scream his name! What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! And Judge Regina Chu said that incarceration wasn't going to serve Kim Potter because she's not likely to do something like this again. Daunte Wright isn't the first person she played a role in killing. So she's already done it more than once. She's already been a part of this more than once. So when we say Daunte Wright, when we say Kobe Heisler, we mean that there are no good cops in a racist system because it doesn't matter who they are. This is what they do. This is what they do. They end black, brown, indigenous lives. Over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. but incarceration isn't going to do her any good. I can guarantee she can't kill nobody behind bars. When she's in general population, with the people probably she locked up, she's not going to be above the law then. But when she's out here in these streets serving less than 2 years after ending a 20-year-old's life, who knows what she's going to do? She's probably going to get a book deal. She's probably going to be some type of right-wing superstar. She already has these letters coming in supporting her. She already has these people saying that they love her. They'll be with her through this. But what we need to do is let her know, let Judge Regina Chu know. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do for Kim Potter. We the people are going to be out here for Daunte Wright. We the people are going to be here fighting alongside Daunte Wright's family, standing alongside the families of everybody who has been affected by police brutality, by police murders, by this racist ass system. Say no good cops in a racist system. 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 No good judge 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 in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. No good judge in a racist system. With everything you got, I need you to scream this young brother's name for me, okay? With everything you got. Say his name! Say his name! What's his name? Scream his name! Scream his name! What's his name?
So again, the community is still out here, corner of South 12th Street and Yale Place. We are on the avenue of Yale Place right now, outside of Regina Tru's condominium home apartment here on Yale Place in downtown Minneapolis. Please like and share our video, the Voters Voice Media. Please like and share our page.
If Daunte don't get it! If Daunte don't get it!
Thank you, my brother Brandon. We do have another family out here, the father of Delae. If you want to say a few words, or any other families that are out here to stand in solidarity with Daunte Wright's family. Katie, you want to stand for me? Okay. All right. Okay, I love you too. Katie, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for standing with our family. Today was a really hard day, but we're going to continue to fight. The fight's not over. We're going to continue to say Daunte's name along with so many other names that have been failed by our justice system, failed by police, failed by our communities sometimes, unfortunately. But we're going to stand together, we're going to stand strong, and we're going to continue to fight.
We got your back.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Well, it is really cold, and the system is from Bayer. It is the blooding, attacking our children. It's not fair, and we cannot deceive our mouths. They kill a young father, and they gave her 2 years. Is that fair? No, that's bullshit. Hold the system and hold the judge. They are bullshit. I mean, motherfuckers, all of them. You see how fair we are talking for human life. We are talking for human life. We are not talking insect. We are human. And we are fight to get our justice. I'm deeply sorry I'm hearing these points. Okay, what does the system say today? And we cannot accept that. No matter whatever you say. Stupid, bitch, and charger. Whatever you say, we don't fucking care. And we're gonna stand here and fight until we get the justice. And that evil police lady, she has to go alive for the prison. She's evil. She's evil. Well, we cannot accept that every day there was a killing of a youth and there was a gathering that stupid bitch motherfuckers, they got her 2 years. No, we are not insect. And we will stand here and we will fight. We will fight. If they were thinking we don't know, they are all of them KK. They are all of them KK. We don't scare. The system is from Bayer. Sucking the blood of our children. It is really unfair. It is really unfair. And this is happened today. It is unacceptable. We will stand and fight our justice. And we will never stop it. No matter what. If it's cold, freezing, raining, sun, every day will be here. Every day we will never give up. We will fight, we will never give up our rights and our justice. And we want to tell you, the judge, you are bullshit. You are bullshit, and what you've done today, it is really, really disgusting. We cannot trust you anymore. We cannot judge any human being at all. Idiot. We are human. And it is unacceptable. We are not talking insect. We are not talking animal. We are talking human life. A young father. And the mother lady, you gave her only 2 years. I hope you're gonna go alive for yourself, bitch. Well, us, we have to stand here. We have to fight every day. We are one. We are not the colors. We are one color, and our color is justice. We have only one name, and our name it is a fighter for freedom and justice. You cannot make us for separation. We are human, and what we are, what is required to you, all the people who love rights and justice. Please, you see what happened today in Minnesota. You see what happened in Minneapolis. Even the mayor, okay, he did not fit to sit this chair. He has to step down. So, thank you very, very much. I see, okay, the queen of the world, she's here.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for being out here to stand in solidarity. Thank you all for being here. Now, the brother of Daunte Wright, Damon, has asked anyone that wants to, we're not going to carpool or anything, but anybody that wants to show up outside of Brooklyn Center Police Department, please do. So anyone, that's where Daunte Wright's family, his brother, is headed to now. So Thank you, everybody, for being here. If anybody wants to end in a few chants, you're more than welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bilal Eid, say his name.
Bilal Eid.
Say his name.
Bilal Eid.
Say his name.
Bilal Eid.
What's his name?
Bilal Eid.
Scream his name.
Bilal Eid.
Scream his name.
Bilal Eid.
Scream his name.
So that seems to be all the speakers for tonight. Calling
Say his
to
name.
count the injustice that took place today that they feel by being only 24 months given to Kim Potter, 2/3 to 16 months she'll serve the rest of probation or parole.
What's his name?
So what you are seeing is the community out here standing, making their voice heard, their First Amendment right
What's his name?
to be out here in the street.
His name. All power to the people. We have a lost iPhone. 3 cameras on the back. It's got the citizen Andre. Is Andre right? Is this his? No? Oh. It says the citizen reporter. Anybody have an iPhone? That says citizen reporter. If you are op, you caught now. Yeah, if you had it mounted or something. Yeah, and if you got the citizen report as your background, you lost your phone, tap into a live stream. Hopefully you see this. It'll be in Minnesota Justice Coalition vein. Get in contact with them to get it. It's too cold. You lost your shot. Sorry. All power to the people.
Power to the people.
All right, so that is the end of this demonstration here. People are going to start to move out of the roadway. We thank you guys for tuning in to this demonstration, which showed the upside or the downside of the people's feelings about the sentencing of Kim Potter.
A year and a half after 2 years, and she's gonna do a year and a half after killing a black man here in the state of Minnesota. This is the epitome of corruption. This is the epitome of disrespect. The community's back is up against the wall. How much do you expect us to take? Is our lives not valued enough? Justine DeMond did not get a verdict like this. A white woman that was killed on accident by a black officer here in the state of Minnesota. There was no video footage, and the officer got locked away right away. Why do we continue to see the difference? They're doing it right in front of our faces. They're showing us what black men lives mean here in the state of Minnesota. There has been over 470 murders at the hands of law enforcement here in the state of Minnesota in the last 20 years of black and indigenous and minority people. We're putting our lives on the line. Our families are out here putting our lives on the line to stand up for what we know in our heart is right. And they do this to our community. They do this to this family. They do this to the rest of our families. This is re-traumatizing for our families to see that we may never see our day in court. And then when we do see somebody get held accountable, then they let her walk with 2 years knowing that she's only going to do a year and a half? What do you expect for the community to do? You won't pass legislation. The legislators won't pass legislation. They get the families in the courtroom and they give somebody 2 years, which they're going to do a year and a half. What do they expect our community to do? What else do they want from us? We can't take it. Our backs is up against the wall. We cry and we bleed and we beg. And they do nothing. They do nothing. This is what they appeasing. This is appeasing to the white community. But this is not justice. And we want justice. If Daunte don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 say his name.
Daunte Wright.
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 We will now have the brother of Daunte Wright, Daunte Wright, say a few words on behalf of his brother. Thank you.
First off, I just want to start by saying that my mom and my father didn't really want to come out. So she basically, you know, words from my parents is basically saying that they just feel so hurt and overwhelmed with what was going on. We felt more of a slap in the face than anything. We feel like the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, didn't put his all into this case and settled for less. We feel like there should have been more time handed out to Kim Potter in this case. Nothing that we can do can change the fact that, you know, Kim Potter murdered our brother. And the only thing that we can continue to do is keep fighting for justice for other families. And, you know, maybe one day stuff will change, but right now we can't really do too much. We're so blank in the mind. The fact that somebody that's been on the police force longer than any of my mom or dad's kids have been alive is ridiculous. So with that being said, we just want Daunte's name to stay high and humble, and we want everybody to know that the fight for justice is not over and that we stand with everybody else, and that's really all we can say. We don't really have too many words, but thank you guys for everything. Are you coming up?
We will now call forward Jonathan McCollum, President of Minnesota Justice Coalition.
Hello, my name is Jonathan McClellan. I'm president of the Minnesota Justice Coalition. We are part of a collection of organizations that work with the families and community to draft and advance legislation and other policy initiatives at the Capitol here in St. Paul and in Washington, D.C. I want to give my deepest condolences to the families who should not have to be here and whose lives have been changed forever. Today is a day that will live in infamy. Sound familiar? This was an opportunity to set an example. The court makes examples of black and brown people every day. This is a problem that has targeted and killed thousands of black people around this country. The court chose to slap Kim Potter, a convicted killer cop, on the hand, while at the same time slapping the family and us in the face. It has been 57 days since Kim Potter was found guilty of first-degree and second-degree manslaughter. Potter, who has never expressed remorse for the Daunte Wright's death, even after the verdict was reached on December 23rd, 2021, after almost 28 hours of deliberation. Today was the first time we have ever heard her conveniently say, "I'm sorry" to the family. Kim Potter violated the public trust and showed a blatant disregard for human life. The results of her brutality have caused immense damage to our community, primarily of color. Further, this incident has sparked outrage around the world. Let's not forget about the indiscriminate shooting of peaceful protesters, the targeting of media, and the failed program of Operation Safety Net that flushed the Constitution down the toilet in favor of a police state. We condemn the sentence of 24 months only to serve 18, credit for 2 months. If this would have been anybody else other than a killer cop, they would have the book thrown at them. How many black, brown, and poor people are in jail today but for the setting of an example? I have never seen in my life a judge rationalizing a convicted murderer over the victim, and then following up with a quote from the first black president, as if that will make you and others sleep better at night. Let's not forget We would not have had this verdict had the people not hit the streets demanding justice. If there wasn't the outpouring of grief from around the world. I asked myself, is this what it takes to get justice for a person of color? Is this really justice? Sure, we have a guilty verdict, but will things really change? Not just for the present, but our future. The conviction itself was a drop in the bucket to what the criminal justice system owes our community. The sentence from the judge was a shot in the heart of justice itself. Kim Potter took a life and should have gotten the maximum sentence, but instead, we have a system protecting itself. The family will never get true justice because Daunte Wright is not here anymore. The sentence had nothing to do with the value of human life. Sadly, this will be only the third time in modern Minnesota history that an officer has been sent to prison for being convicted of murdering a human being on the job. Absent any substantive change in legislation, has anything really changed? When we have an out-of-touch judicial system, a weak executive branch, and a legislature who doesn't have the stomach to do the right thing, has anything really changed? But also know that we are the most important person in our treatment. So speak up to your elected leaders, and elected leaders listen. We must continue to carry this fight into the legislature and Congress, and yes, judges are elected too. We must change and dismantle the systems that allow and have allowed the Kim Potters to thrive behind the coded slogan of protect and serve, and a system that protects and serves itself. We demand transparency, accountability, and justice for all stolen lives, even the ones not caught on camera. Our greatest failure will be to do nothing knowing what we know. We must wrap our hands around the families, so we fight for change in the legislation and in Congress. We ask that you not forget what was revealed behind the veil. We ask that you not forget the pain that these families have endured. I will end with the saying that I came up with: infect the system with a conscience. So when you go back home today, tomorrow, and the day after that, remember it was your conscience that brought you here. It is your conscience that tells you what happened to Daunte Wright was wrong. It is your conscience that says what happened today at sentencing was wrong. It is your conscience that says the boot of oppression is wrong. It is your conscience that brought you out last summer. It is your conscience that helps us to support each other. It is your conscience that says we stand on the right side of history. We all know the system has no conscience, and that is why it is our duty. That is why it is our duty. That is why it is our duty to infect it with one. All power to the people.
We will now call forward the significant other of George Floyd, who is also a teacher of Daunte Wright, Courtney Ross. Thank you.
I stand here with the Wright family, who I've grown to adore, and I see their pain. And I'm confused because why does Minnesota have guidelines for sentencing if we're not going to use them? Why, if the judge can overrule all of that in a matter of 10 seconds, do we even have such guidelines? Why is it that police aren't held to a higher standard in Minnesota? If we're going to have pride living in this state and in this city, we got to step up. And when I say we, I'm talking to anybody that is listening. I know that all these people are boots on the ground. They've been stepping for years and years. So if you haven't put those boots on yet, lace them up, join us. It's time to change. Thank you.
We will now have my brother, Nasir X. Thank you.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
All power to the people. Say his name. Say his name.
Daunte Wright.
Y'all sound dead.
Daunte Wright.
Say his name.
Daunte Wright.
That's right. Clearly today, we would like to say our deepest condolences to our beloved brother Daunte Wright and all of the stolen lives who have been murdered by
the slave patrols, which is Minneapolis Police Department, St. Paul Police Department, and the police department in general, what you saw today was a mockery to the black man and black woman, the indigenous man and woman, especially to the Daunte Wright's family as well. That's exactly what you seen there. It was a mockery, it was a laughing stock to the family and everyone in the community with the atrocities and everything else that they have put forth and the actual conviction that they have put forth for this woman. 2 years that they have given this woman. If you kill an animal, you kill an animal, you'll be sentenced for more time than that. If you kill an animal, you will be sentenced for more time than that. America today, the justice system was on trial. And once again, it showed that the justice system has failed. It has failed Black America once again. This looks like the 1950s once again, as we have suffered and struggled over and over throughout the time in America to try to receive some type of justice in this country. Muhammad Noor was a black police officer who's done the same exact thing, who made an accident as she claimed it was an accident, but he received more time than she did, and he's a black officer. So clearly this is a white privilege thing. Whether people want to agree with it or not, this is white privilege. She done sat up there and showed you white tears, and after the white tears, she done turned right back around and started smiling on her mugshot because she knew.
That's right.
She knew that the system, the very system that was created for her kind, was going to protect her.
That's right.
And push forward for her. And that's
right.
exactly what you have saw today.
That's right.
So the black man and black woman must understand that change is going to start within. And this entire system needs to be stripped away and rebuilt back up. Because it's racism from the root of this system within America. And that's exactly what's been going on from day one. So when you look at what's going on and taking place, the Daunte Wright family, they can no longer see their brother, their son, their child. He's no longer coming back. And then she sits up here and gets a walk in the park after murdering this young brother. This is asinine. Clear as day. This is not justice. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace. Thank you.
No problem, sister. Thank you.
We will now call for my brother DJ with Twin Cities Coalition Justice for Jamar. Thank you.
My name is DJ Hooker. I'm with Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar. The first thing I want to say is I want to let people know that black lives do matter and that they are worth more than 16 months in prison.
That's right.
I want to say it's extremely messed up that Muhammad Noor got 3 times more jail time despite the fact that he had a less severe crime. And I also want to speak to all the people a couple of years ago that had so much to say because their favorite targets was under attack. They said, be peaceful, do it the right way. That's what they begged us to do. That's what they pleaded to do. But we've been doing that. We've been doing that for years. And today what they showed is that even though 60, 70 years later, even after Emmett Till, white women tears still prevail.
Listen. That's right.
And that's why we need to use a diverse pool of tactics, because this system doesn't care and this system doesn't listen.
That's right.
Because right now they are treating us like animals. People's lives out here are getting worth less and less.
That's right.
We see that with the 22 years that they gave Derek Chauvin. We see that with the 2 years today and the 9 seconds that they gave Amir Locke. This is unacceptable and something has to change. Can someone say that's not right?
That's not right.
Say that's not right.
That's not right.
Daunte Wright, say his name.
Daunte Wright. Daunte Wright. Daunte Wright. I would like to also mention that Kim Potter was also involved with a young man named Kobe Heisler's murder. She asked the other officers to turn their cameras off in Kobe Heisler's murder. They're saying that she didn't have a prior history, but she had a prior history. It just wasn't on paper.
She had a prior history because before she got to Daunte Wright, she was a part of a whole nother murder. And she's on camera telling the other officers to turn their cameras off in Kobe Heisler's murder. I will now call forward my brother, Brandon, from the movement. Thank you.
I'll just keep it brief because, again, you have to see us out here saying the same things over and over and over again, but we don't see any change. We see hardly any change. And we are sick and tired of having to be out here in the first place. We are sick and tired of doing everything that we've been doing only for the needle to move the slightest margin, if that needle's moving at all. But what I just want to say, the biggest thing I saw today, aside from the white woman tears that led to the tears of Judge Regina Chu, when she was crying, giving this sentence, she said, on one hand, there was a loss of life, but on the other hand, and then she mentioned Kim Potter's error, her career, her whatever. Those are not two hands. On one hand is someone's life. And you want to compare that to anything else? You want to compare that to anything else? What do we say? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life. That is tier number one, life. Someone's life was taken away. 20 years of life ended. And that judge decided that 20 years of life that was ended deserved less than a 2-year punishment. For somebody's life. Someone who was never coming back. Someone who now is without a father, who is without a son, without a brother. On one hand, there's the life. That's the only hand. That is all that we should be concerned about. Doesn't matter any other circumstances. Doesn't matter who Kim Potter was. It doesn't matter how many letters were sent to Kim saying, oh, I feel bad for you. It doesn't matter. If I'm on trial, if any black person is on trial in this country, it doesn't matter how many letters their people send in. Doesn't matter how many letters their family, their neighbors, their community. It doesn't matter. But when it's a white lady up on the stand who has killed somebody, who has done something wrong, who has murdered somebody, taken 20 years of life, turned it into nothing. Now you want to hear these letters saying, oh, I hope you're okay. I hope you know that I'm with you. I hope you know that there's people here with you. But just see the thousands, the hundreds, the thousands, the hundreds of thousands of people around this country and around this world who scream for Daunte Wright. I don't care if you think Kim Potter is this, Kim Potter is that. You're not gonna go get on an airplane with the pilot who sometimes crashes the plane. There's no way you want Kim Potter patrolling your streets, and the only reason you do is because you know that she protects your whiteness. She protects your privilege, and that's exactly what this case, what this trial has shown us.
That's right.
Again, send all the letters you want, but I know for sure that there will be hundreds of thousands of people screaming Daunte Wright's name. So say his name. Say his name. Scream his name. Scream his name.
Thank you, my brother. I want to thank everyone that came out this evening to stand out in this blistering cold. This is what you see. The people that are really standing up for justice. That we're out here in the blistering cold standing up for a young man that didn't deserve to die like that. And we need true justice out of this situation. This is wrong. This is really, really wrong to do this to this family. This brother stands here, out here today. Look at him. Look at his brother standing out here for his brother. Kim Potter today. What about this family? Would you want your child to get murdered by the police? The people that are supposed to protect this sir, she smiled in her mugshot. There's no way somebody that was really empathetic and felt bad could build up the strength to smile in their mugshot. There's no way. But here are the true people in the community standing up for our loved ones, standing up for Daunte Wright. So thank you all for being out here today. We will continue to show up. We will show up at the Capitol. We're going to show up everywhere that is necessary, because no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Would anybody from the family, you want to say anything, Damon? Anything else? We will conclude for today. Do you guys have any questions? We will conclude for today, and we will start our march now. Thank you. Thank you.
Kids. On April 11th, he was killed by the same people we were. I'm the oldest child out of my parents' 7 kids. On April 11th, he was killed by the same people we were supposed to trust, who was supposed to serve and protect our community. He was killed by someone who was on the force longer than any of my parents' children have been alive, who was a field training officer at that. We know the charges are manslaughter, but we believe what happened to Daunte was murder. When I got that call about Daunte, I couldn't believe it. I fell to the ground in pain that no one should have to go through. It was the hardest time of our life. We lost a very special person, so I write this letter to you, Daunte Demetrius Wright. We miss you more than ever. Our lives aren't normal anymore. I think about you every day. I lost not only my best friend, but my baby brother. I would remember when we would play games when we were young, and you would get mad if you lost, and you would start crying and turn red in the face because you didn't win. I remember when me, you, Dad, and everybody used to go fishing, and we would argue over who was going to catch the biggest fish. Everything was a competition between us boys. Now we won't be able to compete with each other anymore. I won't be able to see you get old. I won't be able to hear your voice change. I won't be able to tell you I love you one last time. I think about this stuff every day. You were stripped away from us. This has been the longest, most alone, miserable times of our life. We never felt the pain like this. We lost a very important piece to our family. I promise I will never give up fighting for you, because that's what big brothers do. So I wrote this little poem I have. Your memory is my keepsake. We'll never be apart. God has you in his keeping, but we'll have you in our heart. You never said I'm leaving. You never said a goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. There has been a million times that we needed you, and a million times we cried. If our love could have saved you, you never would have died. In life, I love you dearly. In death, I love you still. In our hearts, you hold a place that no one could ever feel. It broke our heart to lose you, but you didn't go alone, for part of us was with you when God called you home. I promised to my family that I would take care of everybody, including our siblings, Dallas, Destiny, Diamond, Monica, Marcus, and of course your baby Daunte Jr. I cannot express how painful it was for our family to see the defendant smiling in her mugshot immediately after being convicted of killing my brother. I respectfully ask the court to give a strong sentence that accounts for the severe pain and loss that our family has experienced. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Rest in peace, Daunte Wright.
Thank you. Diamond Wright, please come forward. And Ms. Wright, will you please state and spell your name?
Diamond Wright, DIAMOND WRIGHT.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diamond Wright. I am Daunte Wright's second youngest sister. I never thought in a lifetime that I'd be standing here doing this. I never thought that my brother would be killed. Would be killed by the same people we're supposed to feel protected by. I know that the charge is manslaughter, but I believe this should be called murder. Ever since my brother was killed, my heart's been shattered, and the only thing that's putting it back together is the memories we shared. I feel like I've been living in a complete nightmare. It got so bad to where the point I couldn't sleep.
I stopped eating and even got depressed. The death of a loved one is not only an emotional pain, but also a physical pain. The defendant should be prosecuted and sentenced to the highest extent. You can't tell me this was an accident. It's in plain sight. She has been a police officer longer than my brother has been alive. How come I have to go see my brother in a metal container just to talk to him? How come I have to pray that my brother hears me cry out to him? How come my family has to groan and moan about the loss of a loved one just because the defendant's actions were reckless? Daunte was my brother, my blood, someone who was supposed to grow old with me. How is it that I'm going to see the age of 21 and he didn't? He didn't get to experience the life he was supposed to. Watch his kids grow and watch his kids and parents grow old. Not many of you know Daunte, and I couldn't care less on what anyone else thinks of him. You don't know him. He could light up a whole stadium with his smile and laugh. I miss him stealing food when my mom is cooking at family functions. I miss when he would play fight with me and my little sister. I miss him. And I would trade anyone in this room to get him back. Everyone just sees this as another black man getting killed by the police, but not us. This one hit home. This time it was one of us. Every day I would walk around and it feels like I'm really not here. It feels like I'm just an empty body taking up space. You took my other half. I remember when Daunte was alive and the George Floyd killing was being discussed a lot. Me, my mom, and Daunte were having a talk, saying just maybe we have enough white in us for us not to be a threat to the police. We were wrong. We have repeatedly seen that one hint of black in our skin makes us a target. This is sickening. I miss you, Daunte. I miss your smile, your laugh, the way you twirled your hair when you were nervous or thinking about something. I miss when you used to come upstairs just to talk stuff and then run back down. You were a great big brother. You taught your sisters how to be tough, how to listen, and how to calm down when we were upset. You really did your big brother role well. I love you, Daunte, and you will always be in my heart until we meet again. Thank you.
You know, since I've had this spiritual awakening and since I've become a very, very strong man of God, I have gotten away from any type of political post. I've gotten away from posting or talking about anything that is controversial. I really have, because I believe nothing comes good from it. I'm someone that has been trying to bring people together, bringing our community together. But this isn't something that I can just ignore. This isn't something that I feel like I should keep quiet about. Kim Potter was sentenced to only 2 years in prison today for the death of Daunte Wright. And I'm truly at a loss of words. This young man was killed because this woman, quote unquote, accidentally shot him. She was reaching for her taser. Now, I know that a lot of you will say, well, you know, he should have tried to get away. And look, how many of us can say that when we were kids, when we were very young? We didn't make stupid decisions in life. I could tell you that I have. I could tell you even that I've ran from cops whenever I was very young. And I did not deserve a death sentence from running from cops, just like Daunte Wright did not deserve to be shot because this police officer made a quote unquote mistake. And look, I am not here talking bad about police officers. I pray every day for our men and women in the military. I pray every day for our men and women who are working within fire departments. And I pray every day for our men and women who are working within law enforcement, that God will protect them and that God will also help them make the right decisions whenever they are pressed to make those very quick decisions. And I'll be honest with you, this outcome of Kim Potter only getting two years, and look, she'll be lucky, or she'll be lucky. She probably will barely serve over a year. And my concern is that this makes me scared for my kids. I have a 16-year-old son who's about to get his driver's license and who's going to be out there. And I can only hope that he won't be as stupid as I was when I was a kid, but there's no guarantee. And that concerns me for his safety because, look, no one is perfect in this world. No one. There's not one of us that is perfect. We make mistakes. But there are some professions that you may get into, like police, like law enforcement, being a police officer, that mistakes, these type of mistakes, just cannot be allowed. What does this say about the value of life? Look, I have been one that I've been talking about humanity. My organization, People for Humanity. And that's because I believe that all lives are very, very important. We are all children of God. And for this woman to only get 2 years is a slap in the face to humanity. Look, I can tell you from experience that many, many years ago, I was involved in a case where a young girl was kidnapped, raped, and brutally murdered. And when I sat in that courtroom, I can tell you that if that judge would have started crying and saying things like we should have empathy for the person who took the life of this young girl, I would have been just angered. And that's exactly what this judge did today. She literally cried. And she literally asked for empathy for Kim Potter. Now, I'm not saying that this woman doesn't deserve empathy. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be forgiven, because the Bible says that we should all forgive. Matter of fact, the Bible goes on to say that if you cannot forgive, then you cannot be forgiven. So I am not in any way saying that this woman cannot be forgiven for what she's done. What I am saying, though, is that I am appalled that the judge in front of the family of Daunte Wright would say this in court. I can only imagine how this family is feeling right now. Look, I've lost many, many people to death. Matter of fact, it's one reason why I was an atheist. Because I was so angry because of all the death that I had experienced. I was angry at God because of that. So I understand death. I understand the hurt that death causes. But I can only imagine what it would feel like to lose a child. My father, he lost 2 sons. I've had 2 brothers who were killed. And I can tell you that the death of my 2 brothers affected my father so greatly that for years, my dad never spoke any words of my brothers. Matter of fact, it wasn't my brothers were killed in the 80s. It wasn't until around 2003 that my dad acknowledged my brothers. That's how much pain that losing a child will inflict on you. But to have to sit in a courtroom and listen to a judge talk about showing empathy towards the person who took your child's life because of a quote-unquote accident, an accident that should never, ever take place in law enforcement. This judge was out of line. And again, for this woman to only get 2 years It is absolutely, it's astonishing to me. And look, I'm a man who always has a lot to say. There's very little time, very few times that I become speechless. And when I heard the sentence for Kim Potter, I was literally left speechless. And then again, I started to worry, because that is excusing these type of mistakes to be made, in my opinion. And that left me worried for my family, for my children who's going to be out there. And again, I pray that my kids don't make some of the stupid mistakes that I have. I pray that my kids are smarter than I was, that they never try to run from a police officer. But I've been there, I've done it. And again, I did not deserve to die. That doesn't warrant a death sentence. And Daunte Wright did not deserve to die. And again, for Kim Potter to get sentenced to 2 years, more than likely be out a little bit after a year, that is a slap in the face to humanity. And I apologize if people are offended that I'm talking about this, because again, I've tried to stay away from anything that would cause any type of debate or divide amongst people. Since I've had this spiritual awakening, since I've become this really strong man of God, but my character is still the same. And I believe in human life, and I believe that whenever someone commits a wrong, when someone kills someone, that they should be punished heavily, that there should be a very heavy consequence for this if it was not warranted. There are people right now in prison who've got longer sentences because they were caught with weed. Something that is now legal in most states, that are still sitting in prison, though, for many, many years. And someone who took a life because she made a quote-unquote mistake, that was put in the position that she was in, that again, these type of mistakes cannot be excused. 2 years? That's not right. Now, I do pray for the families of Daunte Wright. And I as well pray for the family of Kim Potter. And I do believe in forgiveness. And I do believe that this woman can be forgiven. Because again, the Bible does say that if we cannot forgive, then we cannot be forgiven. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But I'm very disappointed in the judge, because it was not the right time or place for her to talk about empathy towards someone who took the life of the child of the people who were sitting in the court having to listen to this. It's just, our court systems failed us today. And my heart really goes out to Daunte Wright's family, because just this isn't right. I hope everyone has a blessed Saturday night. And again, I'm not talking bad about law enforcement. Again, I pray for the men and women who serve in law enforcement. I pray that God protects them. I pray that God gives them wisdom. But if these type of mistakes are made, then there has to be accountability, more accountability than what happened tonight. I hope you guys have a great night.
It's a lineup of police over here, folks. There's 4 cars with their lights on, another few behind there. See it. Yeah, man. Ooh, here we go. His music stopped, but his microphone didn't.
His music stopped, but his spirit didn't.
His spirit goes on. All right, folks. Yeah. That's it. So it's bouncing around a little bit because my other one stopped working. Oh, let me see.
We love the police, okay? We do this for them and for their families also, and we want them to be with their hearts.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked with a policeman, okay, some weeks ago, and he was saying it's